All right. It's the right one. It's the right one. That's beating a game twice. That's the hope. But first, I want to try to remember where I am in this, because I feel like I just recently did something. I got the shovel last time. Remember, that was kind of a big thing. So I need to think about what to do and where to go. Time to shovel in all the places. Tastes great, less shoveling time. Whoop, have to go around. I feel like I already did some shoveling on Poka Poka. But there might be more to do. So there's an up that's over there. I don't think I've been to, but I think I did this last time. Yeah, I sure did. We found out that this takes us here. And there's a right and a left up top there. Is that platform not going to come back? Oh, Higgins. Ah! Yo, the race channel's open. Ah, it's this different kind of wall. And I don't think that shovel is going to work on that. Oh, does it automatically unequip my armor? It does. That's nice. And then it re-equips it automatically as well. That's dreadfully convenient. We bring the good non-shovelable walls to life. That was a button that I hit. Although it's actually exactly where I wanted to be. Let me know that this is just the way out. I think there was somewhere else that needed shoveling in Boa Boa. I actually think I'm thinking of a different island, but yeah, 'cause I'm pretty sure I already did this, but so that just puts me here. And that's for this. I didn't think there was anywhere else that needed shoveling. I'm not seeing any more. Not seeing any more like down passageways. I'm seeing some false walls. But I already hit that. I didn't already hit this. But that means that's going to reactivate those, and I think I needed those to be reactivated on a different island. Like, I think there was maybe somewhere on Poka Poka. Ah, yeah, I think there's something here somewhere that needed those sunstones to be reactivated. I'm probably wrong about that. Because there's still that one section way off to the right here at the end. I apparently can pogo on enemies. Fireballs! I assume that's magic. Hi? Oh, freezes enemies in place. Minor recovery. Turn to start of stage. So it's a weapon? Hell yes. Uh-huh. I like this. It does not last forever. I don't think Pogo gets me up high enough. All right. This is another passageway from another one of the levels, but I can't get up there. I can't just like drop down through that. Okay. Still a little bit of a mystery on that one. I should probably get into this race channel before I forget. .1. Hey, I know that guy. So I'm still obviously missing some stuff for here. Yo, what's that fire bat? So I'm still missing, like, the moonstone. Feeling I need to do something over here in this mess of islands. Puka Puka. I didn't think that there was anything along the bottom here. Well, there's this. This is where the man teaches me about downstab. So we've already got down stab. The map's not confusing at all. You can't read while I have shovel? That's correct. A man with wings may instantly transport back to the entrance or to the hot springs. I am a man with wings. I have magic wings. And I accidentally just used them. That brings me all the effing way back here. It's because the confirm button on the menu is A, and that's also the cast magic button. Jump, Higgins. Accidental magic. It gives you wings! $500 coins! I was really hoping for something more consequential than money! I can't get over there, I don't think. Where does this put me? Up top. Kind of where I wanted to be. Gotten that already. Oh, and there's star blocks that I need to reactivate. I have to try to remember where the star block is. Thought that was just in the first level. And these are upstab blocks. So I can't do anything with those just yet. Aqua armor! I want to at least save having picked up the aqua armor. Works well in the water. I'm fucking Luigi, dude. I was really hoping it was gonna let me go underwater. No such luck, though. We're going places, though. Lever. Aha, I have drained water. Magic bottle. And I want to see what's in here. Thunder Sword. No? No Aqua Stone? I need to find other item. Well, the most important part is that you save the game. You get some manner of Super Metroid loaded up. I think we will go with the kid that is also the squid. That's a better gravity suit palette. Yep, we got a good palette here. So yeah, I haven't really been doing too much with video games this week. I saw a couple of neat looking Doom wads. One that I had forgotten about and one that I didn't know about. I'm pretty sure I need to reinstall GZ Doom or pull it off of my other hard drive or whatever. All right. See if anything interesting has happened on YouTube yet. Oh, there's the new Rockstar's breakdown of Mandalorian and Grogu. Couple of girls watching Blazing Saddles for the first time. That should be fun. Unless I feel like going back and rewatching a bunch of GSL. Looks like that was kind of it. Yeah, I see. And Toaster said he was going to be back, so we can wait on him. Good time for me to get some requests put into Rainwave. Ooh, that Dirge of Cerberus song. And he's back. My chances of getting third place in this race have gone up significantly. Fun good, have luck. Thank you, Firebat. Same to you. There he goes. Three, two, one, and away we go. Cool. Cool. 39.29. When it hits the fan, I don't know this game. Actually, somewhat recently, I did see an update video from the Skywind project. Was happy to see that. They are getting really far along. Like they are closer to done with a lot of that mod than I thought they were. They still have a lot left. But between Skywind and Skyblivion, it's gonna be another exciting couple of months. My personal prediction is that they're probably going to be done. Those teams are going to be done with either one or both of those mods. Probably by early part of next year, if not before then. It's just I don't get my hopes up when it comes to free mods with volunteer work staff. Trying to think. I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering right, that the one thing that is like 100% completed for the base game for Skywind is the voice acting. Everything else is just like really, really close. And then there's another handful of things that are like just a bit over halfway done. Unlike Skyblivion, Skywind has never put any kind of a suggested release date on their project. They have always been, it will be done when it's done. Again, you have to temper expectations. That's really the only games I've been messing around with over the past week was doing a bit more looking into Final Fantasy III and figuring out if I actually want to do a second playthrough of that game right away. Because I do have a second save file started up, but I really feel like I really feel just like so directionless at the end of it. And yeah, I think I want to get through FF6 first. It shouldn't be that hard. I just need to remember the steps. Pewter dandelion. Yeah, I may just do another playthrough of FF1 just because, yeah, like you said, it is probably the quickest of the Final Fantasies. Nobody does it like a river. I think there's a couple things about FF6 I need to possibly look up again. Because I already need to look up um, which ones of Mog's dances you have to get from the World of Balance. Got him. See, I thought there was at least two. No, yeah, I think Water Rondo is one of them. But I thought there was a dance for like the green field. You know, like one of the very first backgrounds that you get coming out of Narsh. Because you can get the forest, the snow, the interior, and the desert, all in the world of Ruin. It's more just looking it up to confirm what I'm thinking. Have to do a trip to the Veldt. Yeah, again, this is... That's why I want to look things up. And I don't think so, but I also want to double check if there's like espers that I need to get from the World of Balance. Again, I don't think there are. It's more just like, okay, when am I going to get this one? When am I going to get this one? Because I doubt I'm going to 100% the game. But I'd like to come as close as I can. Nope. Save that super. Well. Mostly just want to hop onto a wiki and get a list of everything that can be permanently skipped in the World of Balance, so I can just go back for it before I get too far in the story. Like when the floating continent is up there. It's when we can do some final sweeps of the world. I mean, as far as, like, weapons are concerned, I'm not really, like, too terribly concerned. Not too terribly worried about missing particular weapons. And I already am planning on I'm already planning on skipping out on at least one Esper, which would be Ragnarok, because I want the sword. And then I need to also look up what I need to do for Illumina, for Cursed Shield, But all that stuff is, like, way off in the future compared to where I'm at right now. I really like Illumina. It's one of my favorite swords in the whole game. It does such big fucking damage. And you've got it equipped on the right person. And then, of course, it can proc with a Pearl cast, which is nice. And the Ragnarok sword, I also like. It's another one of the big powerful ones. And it's just... I get more use out of the sword than I get out of the Esper. Because I don't even know what the Esper teaches. This is why I'm gonna have to look that stuff up, because I'm pretty sure I remember having both of them. This is why I want to look up with Illumina. Because I had always thought that it was just the choice between the sword or the Esper for Ragnarok. I don't know, maybe you get the same choice with, like, Crusader? That might be what it is. Because you have to get Illumina from the Colosseum. Boy, I don't think I still have any kind of a list of the Colosseum items anymore. I'm probably going to have to look up to see if I have to do anything special to get the Atma Weapons sword. I forget what you get for defeating all of the elemental dragons. Oh, Crusader is what you get for the dragons? Oh, okay. That actually explains quite a bit, because I don't remember that big save file that my brother and I had on our old cart. I don't think that we ever got all of the dragons. As crabs. %50 on level, though. Nice. Hopefully there's a way to get more than one economizer. That'd be nice. This is why I'm going to have to look up the Colosseum list. Brachiosaur is one terrible way to get the economizer. Oh boy. Speaking of oh boy, what's the genteel way of phrasing this? I think once I'm done with Fantoon here, I am gonna need to run to the restroom. I did that before the race started, but even still. Yeah, it's aggravating. Because I think I have this all sorted out before the race starts. All right. I will unfortunately be right back. All right. I don't need that. Thankfully, I basically just got back in for the beginning of Redemption. Such a good song. No, I've got Dirge of Cerberus. I just remember not liking how it controlled. Like, I just remember it felt stiff. Like, Vincent Valentine is not as much fun to control as Dante is. Which, speaking of more PS2 games I need to get around to, pretty sure I've got all 3 of the Devil May Cry games. That's the ceiling, honey. Also, I'm pretty sure that everyone's complaints about Devil May Cry 2 had absolutely nothing to do with the gameplay. It was all in just, like, either the story or how Dante was characterized. And if that's the case, then I don't think I'm going to have a problem with it. I have a feeling the story of those games is just going to kind of wash off my back. I mean, the key thing I'm interested in when it comes to playing a video game is how it feels, how the mechanics are of the game. This is why my very first time beating Earthbound was beating the Japanese version of it, because I can watch someone play the game and experience the story, and I have. Oh, that was almost 27%. That was scary. Let me turn Ice Beam back on. Now I'm trying to remember if I actually own Metal Gear Solid 2. I kind of think I do, but I think I just got it because it was cheap. Like I've never really been that interested in the Metal Gear Solid games. Really any of the Metal Gear games. The original MSX one I have access to, so I'm gonna play that at some point. And then the Game Boy Color. The Game Boy Color one is actually, from everything I've seen, like really good and really short. Because it's a Game Boy Color game. Oops. But I also absolutely have no timetable for when I would get around to playing any of those Metal Gear games. I've never really been good at stealth games. And I know that MGS is not like the most stealth of all stealth games, but it's just a genre that I never got into. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much same. There are some stealth games out there that that do the mechanic a little bit differently. There was that one free-to-play Steam game that Ponk and I played, um, where we were playing as a couple of kids that were trying to free animals from a zoo. And we had to go around with like one person stacked on the other one's shoulders in a big trench coat. There's another one I think I played. I'm not sure if Ponk and I played, where you have to basically do the same thing, but as like a couple of raccoons. And you're going around all stacked up on top of each other wearing a trench coat and fedora. The other thing is, from my time just watching Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid games, the storyline of those games is absolutely fucking baffling. And I definitely gave more of a shit about the storyline while I was just watching a long play. Yeah, Pokemon games do technically have a little bit of a stealth mechanic. I still don't think I'm ever going to come across a good place to use my Shedinja. Every gym leader that I have left, which I think I only have 2 gym leaders, then the Elite Four, then the Champion. And I'm pretty sure that the one gym leader that Shedinja would have been really good against is like the second or third one. And I am well past that point. No, Nintoaster. Dang, dude. Oh, fuck. What was that game those guys were playing? A couple of the long form Elder Scrolls analysis video makers that I'm a fan of were playing some fucking driving game the other night, and it was just hilarious. Because they're just like driving through dense forests and clearing out huge swaths of trees, launching gigantic trucks off of hillsides. It was Forza Horizons something? Might be the game that Nintoaster is talking about at IRC. But open world driving games? Now that seems like it could be interesting. The only real experience I have with open world driving games would be like GTA. But what it did is it made me really want to go back and play more Burnout. Unfortunately, in order to play more Burnout, I need to get another Xbox. So I don't think it's as simple as... Well, I don't know if it's as simple as getting my old one fixed. But unless I can get it fixed for less than $50, I can just go buy another one. Because that's how much a new to me original Xbox would cost. You dead? You're dead, but your aim is bad. Here's Firebat taken first. A 47.56. GG. actually something I just thought of because it's a service that I have on this computer that I frequently forget about. But I do have the GOG game browser. Only reason I have it is for Tyrion 2000. But I might want to check on there. Or maybe a Wikipedia page for the franchise. But I really need to go back and see if there were PC versions of Burnout 1 through 3 that were released back in the day. Really, I just want Burnout 3. It's my preferred driving game. Plus, it of course has that property damage mode that I love so very much. It's just been fucking years. Like, I don't know if I ever streamed that game on a computer that could actually handle the stream. But yeah, I was actually kind of surprised when I saw that GOG has their own game browser like Steam. Because again, all I ever wanted off of GOG was Tyrion 2000. Because didn't I didn't know at the time of a better way to get it than through GOG, because it's a free game. I mean, there's a couple other older DOS games that have seemed intriguing in the past, but not intriguing enough for me to spend any amount of money on them because I've gotten the DOSBox files for them before. I'm sure I could again if I really wanted to. And a lot of those games might be available to play for free on Classic Reload. I just don't know about depending on ClassicReload.com for a tentative playthrough of, like, a fucking Might and Magic game. When it comes to the two RPG franchises that I've kinda thought about playing for a little while and then just decided not to has been Might and Magic and Ultima. Never really had any interest in, like, wizardry. Never really had much interest in any of the other myriad first-person dungeon crawlers. that have existed for eons. I do have, I think it's Etrian Odyssey 4 on my 3DS. But, that never really held my attention for long enough to want to do like a full playthrough. Especially when I was more like personally excited about playing like different versions of Pokemon Rumble. Like I'd play all the way through those fucking games because they're a lot of fun. They're also like the most fucking casual games ever invented. It's like there's not a lot of meat on the bones for Pokemon Rumble. They are fun games, though. It's just that that's really like all you can say about the Pokemon Rumble games, is that they're fun. $59.16. Yep, that's gonna happen. The not cutting one of champions. Well, it could be worse. I turned Screw Attack back on, right? Yeah, okay. It's just you get like the little squids that circle you during the spin jump instead of like the electricity. Sometimes it can be hard to tell. Yeah, buddy. Get on the boat, get in the boat, don't hit slash, don't hit shift. 101.28, GG. Laser Crab is conflicted. I don't think you have to write that one down. Well, I did finish. It'll just be a casual reminder to do better next week. A finishing is forever. Forever for at least 1 week. Right. Now we're gonna switch gears back to Super Adventure Island 2. Or I could actually look up all that stuff about Final Fantasy VI that I was thinking about. Gear Force. Yep. Load up Google. See you next F off. Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. Oh yeah, oh my god, yeah, there's a side-by-side screenshot of the overworld from the original and the Pixel Remaster, and the Pixel Remaster is so much brighter. Like, holy crap. All right, first things first. Oh, calling it Lightbringer. Okay, yeah, you do have to bet Ragnarok at the Colosseum. And abilities. Oh, you can get Wind Song from the World of Ruin, apparently. You can also get it from the Kefka fight. That's weird. Yep, Love Sonata. Now you can get Earth Blues. You can get Earth Blues from Mount Zozo, the Floating Continent, or Kefka's Tower. You can apparently get Dusk Requiem from the Statue of the Gods fight. Oh, and Snowman Jazz you can only get in World of Ruin. Okay, I was mistaken about that one. I guess there are no random encounters up there in the World of Balance. Yeah, you can get Twilight Requiem or Dusk Requiem in a lot of different places. Same with Love Sonata. I want my background for Wind Song to be the Phantom Train. Oh, yeah. Some of these have very different names. Midgard Sormer. I like Torado. Hmm. Okay, so yeah, the reason you would want Odin is for Meteor, and then Raiden for Quick. Okay, and I don't think that Leviathan, Gilgamesh, Cactuar, or Diablos are in Pixel Remaster. They're in the like 2014 version of FF6, but I'm not playing that one. So if I'm remembering right, I have all of these in the first row. Siren, Kate Sith, Kieran, Rama, Ifrit, Shiva, Carbuncle, Madwin, Bismarck, Phantom, and Unicorn. I have Katobalpas. I don't think I have Gollum. Oh, that's right, it's at the auction house. So I'm gonna have to double check the auction house, because I thought the last time I went there, um, that I couldn't mess around with it. But I think, yeah, after the player has completed the Magitech research facility and acquired the blackjack, so I get to gamble. So you can get Golem and Zone Seek. But you can also do that in the world of Ruin. So Golem and Zone Seek are available in both. So that's good to know. How's about Seraph? Seraph is currently being held by a thief hiding on the outskirts of Tzen. So that's another one I could go get, like, right now where I'm at in the story. What about Fenrir? Humbaba? Did they changed his name? I like Funbaba so much better. Who the hell was Lakshmi again? Starlet. And that's the Magicite you get after fighting the painting in Owser's mansion. Quetzali, which I know is Palador. Which is just on the solitary island after you get the Falcon. Phoenix is in Phoenix Cave. Ragnarok is in Narsh. Then what the hell was the other sword that we had in that game? Besides Illumina and Atma Weapon. Maybe Excalibur? I mean, yeah, Ragnarok does teach Ultima, but I'm pretty sure the Paladin Shield teaches Ultima as well. And yeah, you have to fight 255 battles with the Cursed Shield to get Paladin Shield. And then you have to fight God knows how many battles to actually learn the spell. Valagarmonda. Which is Tritalk. I know where you get Tritalk. Where did I see you get... Oh, and you get Torado in the Yeti's Cave. At the same time as you get Umaro. What about Alexander? One of my favorites. throne room of Doma Castle in the world of Ruin. After you defeat Rex Soul within the Dreamscape. That's right. Odin and Raiden are both in... Well, Odin's Magicite and then the upgrade to Raiden are both in the Ancient Castle. And Bahamut is in the possession of Death Gaze. Oh, good. Good old Death Gaze. I'd forgotten about him. Okay, but, Crusader also teaches Meteor at ×10, which is nice. So basically, I just need to get... What are they calling her? Lakshmi? Starlet? Yeah, I just need to get her... Or not her. Seraph is the one I'm thinking that's into Zen. Yeah. Seems like everything else is either in the world of Ruin or at the auction house. And I can get stuff from the auction house in the world of Ruin. Now, what about... Head back to that Super Adventure Island game facts. Check some level maps. Okay, so that path that leads up is eventually going to lead me to Lightning Orb. And I'm already forgetting what stones I need to turn back on. I think it's the Star Stone that I either need to turn on or off. Still have a little bit of time before the next race. If I'm remembering right, isn't this like the generic battle music in Breath of Fire 3? One thing I've always known about the Breath of Fire games is they have really good music. Okay, so we need to go to Boa Boa. De Boa Boa. And the thing that they're talking about on this map that I was seeing is where again? Oh, I am not in the right level. I don't think. No, this map does not look like the right one. Is this level 3? Is this what they're calling level 3? Yes. Well, spoilers, I'm seeing something that looks like an ocarina. Also seeing a different set of armor and a shield. I think that shield is like up on the clouds. And I'm not sure that I know how to get up there. I need to be over here. So where am I on the map? I'm at the shovel spot. Climb up over here. Yeah, and then I can be up here. I need to have faith in Higgins' jumping ability. Ice shield. It's actually the first shield I've found. And I found it on the map. Well, and that's my magic that I accidentally hit again. Now, we go down here. Ah, yes, there's something to dig up here. That's 1,000 coins. But now it's saying there's something off to the right. There's a fake floor. Christ, where did that put me? I'm at the bottom over here. There's ice armor. Alright, is there anything else in here? Doesn't look like it, because looks like the little tiles that they're showing are where you would pick up, or where you would, like, use that particular item. Right, so I can peace out of here for right now. I don't think there's anything else I can really do with Puka Puka. Poka Poka? Ekum Bokum? So I think what they're calling level 2 is Ice World up here. Hiya hiya. I think the only thing from in here that I can't get is like a health upgrade. Where does it say I am? Off on the left here. So I need to get like all the way up to the top And then that tall segment that's like 2 rooms wide. Need to get up there. So I think it's the star blocks that I need to either activate or deactivate. And I hit my magic button again. Boy, that didn't work. That didn't work. I hate these fucking bunnies. These annoying little bastards. Alright, now how am I getting to where I need to go? A whole lot of up. Oh, that must be the fire shield. Yeah, we just need to... Okay, got extra life. There was an invisible floor there. Illusory. So now I have to climb my happy ass all the way back up there. Right, now where am I? Okay, so we're back up here. I need to keep going up. How do I'm assuming I still need to go up. Yeah. I need to go back to here. I don't remember if I need this on or off. Should probably take some notes. There's a lot of shit in level 5. The thing that's kind of bugging me is they don't have, like, the actual island names on these maps. Old Inspector Gadget. Okay, so I can't get upstab yet. I already have... Well, now this is bugging me. 'Cause I definitely see a tile for what looks like an ocarina, but I'm not seeing anywhere that's, like, specifically saying you get that item here. So yeah, I'm not seeing anything about it on the world map. And 6 has to be Fua Fua. Say level 5 would be those wacky islands. Seems to me there's a lot of that level that I haven't uncovered yet. Let's get out of here for right now. So I'd like a little bit more clarification on some thoughts kicking around in my head before I go back to SM. First of all, I want to re-equip my Thunder Sword. And I can't go that way. We have to go off this way now. doesn't look right. Like, this definitely does not look like the map they have on GameFAQs. They probably have it lined up in a way that makes more sense. I'm not seeing a consistent layout here. Okay, so the last two items that I need, I just get from beating bosses. Okay, I've already got the silver sword, the daggers, the ice sword, and the fireballs. I'm also running out of time. Gotten the fire sword, and I've gotten the fire armor. I don't have the fire shield. And I got the ice armor. And the ice shield. I don't have the boomerang. And the light shield, light armor, and light sword are all at the casino. So there's a sword here, and an axe, and the aqua shield. It's showing me the axe and either the aqua sword or the crystal sword, whichever one that is. Green sword, so I'm assuming it's aqua. And can't get into Fua Fua yet. But yeah, next time I just really need to mess with this place. Puka Puka. feel like I haven't been to Baby Metroid in a while. All right. So yeah, maybe one of these days I take a bit more of a long, hard look at Super Adventure Island 2. Instead of only giving myself like 45 minutes. Wow, I actually got through my request line on Rainwave. That request line loaded back up. Have luck, fun, good. Thank you, Firebat. Same to you. Three, two, one. Let's go. Oh, baby. One of my favorite games from the Sega Genesis. And there's not that many of them. But I do like Rystar. It's one of the few Genesis games I've actually sat down and played a good amount of. I don't know how long the game actually is, but I've played through a significant chunk of it. I don't remember off the top of my head if it's another treasure game, but most of the games that I like from the Sega Genesis are treasure games, so wouldn't surprise me if it is. Okay. And 4156. Come to think of it, there's not that many Sega Genesis games that I've ever beaten. I've beaten Kid Chameleon, but that was... I think that was like the speedrun route that I was using for a little while. Never actually did like timed runs of that game or anything. It was just like, oh cool, you can beat this game in like well under 10 minutes. Or something like that. And then the only other one I can think of off the top of my head is VR Troopers, which is a fighting game. I beat Sonic Advance 2, but that's a Game Boy Advance game. Maybe one day I'll reinstall that Sega Genesis Classics collection on Steam. See what I actually have on there. Because that's where I was playing Rystar. I actually don't think I have a lot on there. I know I've got Rystar. I might have Dynamite Heady. I might also be thinking of games that I have on WiiWare, or like Virtual Console. I have a bunch of stuff on Virtual Console that I just don't even think about anymore because it's on Virtual Console and I don't. I don't really play or even like look on my SD card to see what VC games I have that frequently. So I'm always like a little surprised when I see certain things on there. It's like, oh shit, I forgot I had this. Glover! I know I don't have Glover on Virtual Console because I don't think it was ever offered. Pretty sure I have a cartridge for it though, because I remember actually playing it. Because Glover has like some really interesting movement tech. But I would never actually want to do a speedrun of Glover. I don't know, man. Something about 3D speedruns I don't think has ever really clicked with me. You've got the missiles, now get out of there! I think around the same time I was looking to get a cart for Glover, I was also looking to get the Chameleon Twist pair of games. I'm gonna have to look, but I'm pretty sure I did end up getting the Japanese version of Chameleon Twist 2, because that's the one I saw Jorf play ages ago. And that game just looked so much fun. I think I think the real big difference between Chameleon Twist in the US and in Japan for the second one was like possibly some level design, but a lot of it had to do with the character models. Pretty sure Chameleon Twist 1 and 2J have the same like kind of dopey looking big-headed chameleons that don't actually look like lizards. Whereas 2 in the US, I think they gave them a bit of a makeover. They wanted their cartoon characters to look less like cartoon characters. Yo, it me. Yeah, I think after I wrap up here tonight, I'm gonna take another look at those Super Adventure Island 2 maps. And we whiffed the last one. Yo. One of the big reasons why I actually might think about getting an Xbox 360 at some point, especially if it's backwards compatible and I can play my Xbox games on it. But yeah, like one of the only kind of Xbox exclusive games I've been wanting to try out is Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Because I seem to remember the only people that really had an issue with Nuts and Bolts were the people that went into it thinking it was going to be another mascot platformer instead of like a car building and driving and racing game. Also, I get the feeling like there are some people out there that Banjo-Kazooie is a little bit precious to them. I am I am not one of those people. Never had Banjo-Kazooie as a kid. Never had Donkey Kong 64 as a kid. I played just enough of them to know that the basic controls are very, very similar to Mario 64. But I think my focus might have been on different things, different games, rather than mascot platformers. Probably like the one game that I haven't played all the way through yet that would surprise a lot of people. Is I've never really Never really found myself wanting to play Banjo-Kazooie. I mean, I've seen people play it. Looks fun. But I never got into it. Didn't care for DK64, so Banjo didn't stand a chance. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think back of, like, what games I was playing on N64 at the time. I was probably playing a lot of Turok 1 and 2. I was definitely playing, like, WCW, NWO, Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy. You know, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Star Fox 64. Probably still playing Majora's Mask every once in a while. I don't think we ever actually owned Mario Kart 64 or Diddy Kong Racing. I think those were always, like, some of my friends at the time that had those games. And then with renting video games and the used video game trading stores that existed, you know, I was always had at least a couple carts that's like, well, I remember playing this game, but I don't remember if it was something we rented or if it was something that I briefly owned. Like Bomberman 64 or Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. Two amazing N64 games. And I seem to think those would have had to have been rentals, because I never really got that far into those. I definitely remember renting StarCraft on the N64. Funny thing is, I think I had it on PC at the time. So I think it was just out of curiosity to see what it was going to be like. And yeah, if I was shit at that game with a mouse and keyboard, then I was absolute dog shit at that game with a fucking controller. I seem to remember actually owning Super Smash Brothers at a certain point. And honestly, I think the one game that was probably taking up more of my time than anything back in those days would have had to have been Diablo 2. Would have had to have been. I just remember spending way too much time playing that game. Which I still need to somehow find, like, either a working CD key for that game or a working version of that game that doesn't just say, please insert Diablo 2 into your CD drive. Mostly because my laptop doesn't have an optical drive on it. And I don't necessarily feel like giving Blizzard any more of my money for a game that I just can't play because it decided to stop fucking working one day. Yeah. Yep, talking about Diablo 2. Honestly, I need to just not talk about Diablo 2. Yeah, it was a lot of fun playing it back in the day, but honestly, even the little quality of life changes that came around by the time Torchlight 2 came out, I would take Torchlight 2. I just don't have the same amount of hours sunk into it as I did with Diablo 2. I need to do something about that. But it's the same thing as every other game I own that is like mouse and keyboard controls. I really, really prefer playing games with a controller. There are some games where I have to make an exception because the games don't recognize my controller, or there's no way for me to like rebind the controls. Or rebinding the controls would mean that I have to like look up a decades old PDF of a manual. And then still have questionable results. And the only reason I bring it, the only reason I bring up that situation yet again is because every once in a while, I do kind of get a feeling that I want to play Oblivion again. But then every time I do, my current setup is just like, you should think better of this. I seem to remember there was some graphical overhaul mod that I saw on the Nexus for Oblivion that like downgraded the graphics to PS1 level. And I thought, boy, wouldn't that be cool? But I don't know. I think if it's like, would you rather mod Oblivion or just play Morrowind? I was like, well, you got me there. I haven't even tried to rebind the controls for Morrowind onto a controller. My Xbox version didn't come with a manual, but missed the atomic. But also Morrowind was one of those games where it's like, no, I don't mind taking the minute amount of effort that it takes to drag my little... I don't even... what the fuck do I call this? It's like a little desk. It's like a little folding TV dinner tray. It's not a TV tray. That's something different. But like a TV dinner tray. It's like a really small, lightweight, fold-up desk. And it's just what I use for my mouse, because I don't have a full-sized computer desk. And I don't know if I'm ever gonna get one. But it's like, all I have to do is scoot this thing like a foot closer to my chair, and playing mouse-based games is not really an issue. But if I don't scoot it closer, then after like an hour or two, my shoulder starts really fucking hurting. So I don't really have any other part of my arm that I'm like resting on. Whereas if I have it, oh god. Whereas if I have it closer, I can at least like rest my elbow on it. These are literally the first worldist problems that exist in humanity. Oh, jumped over the thing. Yo, play any of the other like mouse-based games that I find myself messing around with. I'm usually not playing those games intently for more than like an hour, hour and a half. and really the only one anymore, I must admit. It's a game I've mentioned on stream before. Um, it's not a very deep or engaging game, but it has just enough quote unquote tactical turn-based RPG elements to it that I can enjoy the game for the actual gameplay of it. Yeah. And it is an 18 plus game called Heavy Metal Babes. But it's like a it's mech combat in turn-based RPG style. And you know, free to play. It's kind of one of those gacha games, if I'm using that term correctly. Where you have to kind of roll the dice to unlock new characters. I mean, yeah, it's an 18 plus game, so there's obviously some content in the game that makes it something that I cannot stream. But again, there's just enough of like a party management and party improvement mechanic to it, as well as obviously, you know, having limited control of the characters during the battles. But, you know, the game only allows you to play it for so long before, you know, you gotta refresh your points, or you have to wait 24 hours for the content to refresh. So again, I'm only ever playing that for like maybe an hour at a time. And even at that amount of time, it's usually because I'm like watching streams or YouTube videos in the background. But that's the thing with a lot of free-to-play video games, is they'll only let you play them for so long before you've used up your points for the day. You know, it's incentive for people to spend money on the game so that they can continue playing. But this is not a game that I want to spend money on. But again, it's another one of those games that needs to have some kind of connectivity with the publisher. So if the servers ever go down for this game, chances are that game's just gone. It's fucking free to play, and no one's gonna get that whiny and bitchy about not being able to play a game anymore that they never spent a single dollar on. Yeah, if I had a comfier setup, I probably would have already beaten Power Wash Simulator by now. Oh my god, don't play that game with a controller. And now I'm kind of hesitant to play it with the mouse that I currently have because the scroll wheel on my mouse is just completely borked. So I'm one of these days gonna have to buy myself a new mouse. I'd kind of like another inexpensive Logitech set, like the one I've currently got. Maybe not have it be necessary for the keyboard to light up, but you know, it's what I wanted at the time and it was cheap enough. That song is from Moon? This must have been like the song that was playing at the ending or something. I keep forgetting that Moon is on Rainwave. You probably favorite this album. Yeah, Moon Remix RPG Adventure. That game is so fucking cool. And I'm almost positive that it was the direct inspiration for the old web series and later video game called Petscop. Because I mean, the similarities between the two is just uncanny. I'm pretty sure Petscop is just creepier. But Moon is definitely stranger. Obviously, Tyrion 2000, one of my favorite mouse-driven games. Mostly because it really did not like some of my USB controllers in the past. You could probably get it working with a USB controller, but it's a game from the era of joysticks and not necessarily controllers. So again, you probably just have to do like some remapping with Joy to Key or something to get it to work. I've just never tried it. I've never tried remapping that game to a controller in-game. Because I like that game with the mouse. I'm trying to remember what first-person shooters that I've played with keyboard and mouse. God, I really think the only one that I can clearly remember playing with keyboard and mouse was like Unreal Tournament. Is like I haven't really played a whole lot of the Steam version of Turok Dinosaur Hunter. I guess Doom and Doom 2. Possibly even Doom 64. I probably played that with a controller as well. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and your dead son. Ow. Ow. Dummy, get down here. Oh yeah, and I also, speaking of thinking back to trying to get old games to work on this system, I need to see if there's anything that can be done to get Deadlock 2 working again. Man, I fucking love that game. I was so happy when I found out that Deadlock 2 was basically the exact same game as Deadlock 1, just with an actual graphical user interface and not just like Windows 95 windows popping up all over the game you're playing. Shame that that game is so far in the past by this point that like other games called Deadlock have sprung up that have absolutely nothing to do with that couple of games, and it just makes it a little bit harder to find information on how to bring this game up to speed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. I forget what the subtitle is for Deadlock 2. Like Tribal Conquest or something like that. But it's a turn-based strategy city builder, alien politics and all that. Played the original when I was a kid like a motherfucker. And I probably just need to check Steam guides and do some Google searching. See if there's anything I can do to get that game working again. Because it's one of those ones that I think it's because of like... God, and I know I'm not going to use the right terminology here, so bear with me. But it's one of those older games that when you try to run it on newer systems, like all the colors are always fucked up, and it's running at a really weird resolution. So I don't know if there's in-game options or startup options or compatibility options that I need to mess around with. But would really like to have that game back. And it's mostly just a case of the game being so antiquated that it just doesn't run right on modern systems. Which I don't understand how that's possible. Mostly because I don't know that much about computers. But like computers should be the ultimate backwards compatible machines. I should also check Classic Reload to see if it's on there. And I see Firebat took first with a 48-41. GG. I think the subtitle for the first Deadlock was Planetary Conquest. And maybe like the subtitle for the second one is just like Tribe Wars or something. It's an old Accolade game. And yeah, even if I have to mess around with Classic Reload, it's fine by me. That's not exactly a game where you need to save your progress. It's not an RPG. And honestly, since it is turn-based, I definitely remember preferring it over StarCraft back when I was younger. But that's just, skill issue. Speaking of games that I need to check Classic Reload for, I need to see if they have the old Are You Afraid of the Dark PC games. Because I played one of them a whole hell of a lot back in the late 90s, and I never could find a way to beat it. Finally got my last achievement in FTL last night. Very nice. I didn't pause in time. Speaking of mouse-based games, I still need to actually try out FTL. Oh, that was the bottle. Thinking about bumping up the difficulty and playing some weirder ships. Only really played normal and hard with one ship before. Doing all the achievements on easy. I guess the other mouse-based game that I've been playing a lot of recently has been Vampire Crawlers. Fuck. Nope, I thought she was shooting that somewhere else. I thought she was shooting that somewhere else. It's not my night for this game. Oh. Let's see. R.I.P. Bonk. Yeah. Not my night for video games. Anyways. That is an unfortunate way to wrap things up tonight, but that's how the cookie crumbles. So, big thanks to Ponk, as always, for hanging out, playing more Pokemon Emerald tonight. He's gonna be done next week, and I've still got so much left to do. So, might have to figure something out. But either way, of course, a big thank you to Insane Firebat and Toaster for the races here tonight. a sufficient amount of fun was still had. Like your Pokedex layout, but we gotta work on your choice of generations. Too many fake Pokemon in whatever one you're playing. Hey man, I started with Gen 1, I skipped Gen 2, played Gen 3, and then, God, I skipped Gen 4, Gen 5, and if I'm thinking right, I picked it back up with Gen 6 and 7. Then I went back and played the other ones that I hadn't beaten yet. You want to talk about fake Pokemon? Gen 5, which I think was black and white. Oh my god. I think you have to beat the game before you can even see any Pokemon you recognize from previous generations. Also, I have a seagull that can shoot lightning at people. Can't talk shit about that. It's the bloodthirstiest bird in video game history. Just be thankful he's on our side. But yeah, there's still lots of good fun to be had with Gen 1. That's why they've remade the game like, what, 2 or 3 different times by now? Fire Red and Leaf Green, and then Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Anyways. That's it for me tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. See ya!